Coming up on Quays TV News today, Manchester's National Union of Teachers says parents need to be worked with, not punished. Dragons parade during Chinese festivities in Manchester city centre. And the search is on for an exotic deer who has moved into the area. Hello and welcome back to Quays TV News. I'm Jess Foley. A man has been charged with voyeurism at Manchester University. 44-year-old Billy from Manchester is accused of watching two women go to the toilet by peering over the top of the toilet cubicle. He is due to appear at Manchester Magistrates Court on February the 18th. School fines for student absenteeism are only a backstop in particular situations. That's according to General Secretary of the Manchester branch of the National Union of Students, John Morgan. He says parents should be helped rather than punished.
The NUT's position on this would be, yes, OK, we've got fines and it might well be a last resort, a backstop, if you like, for a particular situation. But really what we should be doing is working with the families. And we've seen right across the country people who are in education rather than people in Whitehall who make these decisions, who have experienced this, know that if you have a relationship with a family and you work with them, then you can have much better results than just simply trying to punish them. Fine them, yes, if all else has failed, but really that should not be the main part of the policy.
However, Councillor Sheila Newman, Executive Member at Children's Services at Manchester City Council, said all parents have a legal obligation to ensure their child is in school every day they should be. Schools work very hard with pupils and parents to ensure this happens, but where parents repeatedly fail to send their child to school and refuse to work with the schools to address any underlying issues, then legal action is sometimes the only route left to schools to try and get pupils back into the classroom. Have you heard of Neck Nominate? This internet sensation involves people nominating their friends to drink a lot of alcohol in one sitting. Starting in Western Australia, it's moved across the globe using social media to nominate friends to consume various kinds of alcohol. The rule is that it has to be recorded and uploaded to Facebook within 24 hours of the nomination. People are adding crazy elements such as eggs, chopped tomatoes, chilies, and in one case, a live chick. There have been 2 recorded deaths due to the heavy alcohol consumption. Dr Sarah Jarvis, medical advisor to alcohol education charity Drinkaware, says young people often say they feel peer pressure to drink to fit in, but competitions to drink excessively in a short space of time can be dangerous and this should not come as a surprise. However, some people are using their nominations for good, such as Brent Lindeque in South Africa. He chose to use his nomination to give a meal to a homeless person and using his nomination to request someone to do a random act of kindness.
Nomination. It originated from Australia and I'm going to show you how South Africans do it better. For you, buddy. Thank you. Hold on. Chocolate. And a Coke. Cheers, buddy. Thank you. I nominate Darren Smithson and Tristan Banner. You have 24 hours.
You'll be okay.
Candidate nominations for the University of Salford Students' Union elections open this week. Any full-time Salford student can stand and have until the 20th of February to nominate yourselves. Voting will begin on the 7th of March and results will be announced on the 13th, when we will find out who will be our new president. For more information, visit salfordstudents.com. The new Vice-Chancellor's Awards at the University of Salford for 2013 and 2014 were launched this week. These awards recognise the staff's achievements for the past year. For the first time, they include a different category for professional services employees. All staff members are invited to apply as well as to nominate a colleague for one of the categories. The winners will then be presented at the university's award day in June by the Vice-Chancellor at the university, Professor Martin Hall.
Both students and staff members can nominate your lecturers for any sort of teaching awards, any excellence in research award, and awards with regards to community engagement. So there are various different categories and they're all mentioned on the website, and the deadline for nominations is open up until the 9th of April.
University students have been running their own businesses alongside their coursework. Adam Freeran runs his own editing company and Jess Wilby runs her own fashion magazine, Ali. Dylan Amari runs a student letting agency in Manchester. She set the agency up shortly after graduating Edinburgh University. Dylan joins us now in the studio. Thank you, Dylan, for joining us today. First of all, you created your own letting agency. Tell us a bit about how that came about when you started.
It's a bit of a long story, but to cut it short, I've always been quite entrepreneurial, I guess, quite curious. I'm originally from Germany, Berlin to be exact. I went to the States when I was 16, so that was my first step out into the big world, I guess. I then decided to study in Edinburgh, and when I was in Edinburgh, I met one of the partners of the business who studied in Swansea, and he met the business owner of the biggest student letting agency down there called Student Digs. And because, you know, we are international, we have traveled around so much ourselves, so we know what it's like for students coming to a new place.
Because I was just about to say, starting a business in a new city, you know, or no, it must have been quite a daunting, difficult task to think about doing before you actually even done it. You must have been quite nervous.
It was really just really exciting. We know it's the right thing to do. You know, we want to offer students a great service. We don't want to charge them any fees. On most of our properties, we don't, at least. We do prizes. In Swansea, we've sponsored a basketball team. We don't want to do the same here in Manchester. We really want to grow to become the biggest student letting agency here and offer students a great service. You know, we want to make sure the properties are all up to standard and meet regulations so the students are safe and they don't spend a fortune on application fees.
Yeah, well, that's all we've got time for, actually, Dylan, but thank you so much for joining us today.
No problem.
Thanks
for having us.
A new events app has been launched for the Manchester area. Line Up is a free app that exclusively shows you what's going on in the city. It's already popular amongst students and allows you to follow places and people to see upcoming events. For more information, search Line Up in the App Store. As the regeneration of Chapel Street continues, a shop selling Brazilian food products has opened its doors this week. The Brazilian food shop hopes to bring a taste of the tropic to Salford. Alec Heron reports. Apologies for the technical difficulties there. Now we're over to Sophie Whitfield with the latest entertainment.
Thank you, Jess. So, Facebook is 10 years old today, and many of you have taken to Facebook and Twitter to celebrate its birthday. On Facebook, Lotus Carol, cute little reel of my time on Facebook. Then Ali Davis has also taken to Facebook and commented saying it's amazing, some embarrassing and very funny flashbacks. On Twitter, Katie Schamberger said, "The Facebook is 10 recap videos have taken over my newsfeed with the speed of a zombie plague." And Anna Jester also showed her appreciation, writing, "Facebook movies for 10-year anniversary is just genius. Personal, emotive, and therefore super memorable." This week, users can also make short, customised lookbook videos documenting their Facebook lives. Facebook has evolved over the years and stands as a mother of all social networks. Hello Kitty has celebrated her 40th anniversary this year. The fictional character brand began as a greeting card product. It's a cult import of Japanese popular culture that came into the UK in the 1970s, and it's popular in Salford schools according to one young fan we spoke to.
one's Hello Kitty?
45. Hello Kitty. Sister Hello Kitty. This one's Hello Kitty. She's loving Sister Hello Kitty. And this Hello Kitty is Mama Hello Kitty. And this one's loving Hello Kitty. That's
So thousands of people gathered at Manchester City Centre this weekend to celebrate the Manchester Chinese New Year. Our reporter Emilia Mincheva went to Chinatown to find out more about the Chinese culture and traditions.
China is such a big country, so people have many different ways of celebrating this festival. We eat dumplings because their shape is like an ancient Chinese money, which is made of gold. So we believe that when we eat dumpling, it brings more wealth to the family. When I was a kid, I remember my parents always prepared this red envelope with the lucky money in it. So all children get the lucky money, for the new year. And we believe that the children who get the lucky money will have a safe and sound year. 新年快乐，身体健康。
Apologies there for some of the sound issues in that package. So now I have Will joining me in the studio with his latest review. So Will, today we're talking about the Dallas Buyers Club. What can we expect to see?
Well, you can expect a very emotionally wrenching movie. It tells the true story of Ron Woodruff, played by Matthew McConaughey in the 1980s during the US AIDS epidemic. And basically he's given 30 days to live after being diagnosed with HIV. And he's not going to go out without a fight. He's going to die with his Texan boots on. So he tries to get treatment from the American healthcare system, but the drugs that will actually help him are illegal. So he has to cross the border, bring lots of drugs over to help combat the virus, and he's going to help all of these people who have been afflicted with the disease. It's a very stinging but relative critique of the American healthcare system. And this movie doesn't pull any punches. It's emotionally powerful. And what really stands out are the performances, which have been nominated for Academy Awards, particularly Matthew McConaughey and Jared Leto.
Do you think they deserve the nomination?
They're certainly the bookies' favourites, and I think they do deserve it. The Academy do love body transformations, and as they're afflicted with this disease, over the course of the film, they do become walking skeletons, and it's a commitment to the role. They get lost in it, and Matthew McConaughey has been on fire over the past few years, and this is his best performance to date.
He's a brilliant, brilliant actor.
No, he's great. He's been in Mud, The Wolf of Wall Street, and now the Dallas Buyers Club. He deserves all the success and more, and he's great. And the movie, it's a bit arch. It's pretty much Matthew McConaughey versus the big bad establishment. But it's still powerful. It's still relevant.
When can people see this then, Will?
The movie opens on February 7th, which is this Friday, and I recommend you check it out.
Something to look forward to for us all, I'm sure. So books and drawings and toys were on display in the Lowry Theatre this week, marking the launch of their year-long literacy project. The initiative allows parents and children from Salford to write and illustrate their own storybooks. They'll be distributed to all community libraries and Sure Start centres across the city and nationwide. The Lowry raised £25,000 from their Christmas appeal and £4,000 increase on last year through audience donations and staff fundraising.
Talking a lot to Sure Start centres through the work that we were doing previously, and we know that reading is a real priority for children under 5, and engaging parents in that process of reading. Sometimes with young parents they might be slightly underconfident with the idea of reading, or reading out loud, or characterising voices, or exploring the world of books with their child. So what we aim to do is use theatre and drama and storytelling and visual arts and music as a way to bring books to life.
that's all from me in entertainment, and back to you, Jess.
Thanks, Sophie. Now, members of the sporting community have been left shocked and angered by UK Sport's announcement that they will withdraw Olympic funding from 4 sports. Basketball, water polo, synchronised swimming and weightlifting have all had their funding cut for upcoming 2016 Games in Rio and the Tokyo Games in 2020. The reallocation of money has seen more individual-based sports such as triathlon, fencing and shooting receive increases of more than 10%. Paralympic sports have also been affected, with wheelchair fencing, goalball and five-a-side football suffering the same fate. Salford Red Devils had their pre-season media launch yesterday that saw the newly branded team show off their kit and plans for the future.
It's been just over a year since Dr. Marwan Kukash saved Salford Red Devils from liquidation, but after a difficult season last year, the anticipation amongst the coaching and playing staff for this season is of the highest level.
But on paper we're a fantastic squad. We need to do a lot of hard work in training first, but we want to be really competitive every game, and if we do that, it'll look after itself, so fingers crossed.
We're here at the Lowry Theatre in Salford for the first ever launch of the Salford Red Devils, as a Red Devolution finally begins in the hope of one day getting to the home of the famous Super League Grand Final.
Well, off the field, if we can keep the same kind of family spirit that we have now right throughout the year, when the times get tough, then we've created a winning formula. And that will carry on to the field as well. So, you know, we'll be as successful as our injury list allows us to be, and as our little bit of a bounce of the ball allows us to be. But if we're all pretty determined to finish as high as we possibly can.
Just giving it 100% week in, week out, just being consistent week in, week out from our teammates.
Salford Red Devils now look forward to their first home game of the season as they entertain Yorkshire rivals Wakefield Wildcats at the AJ Bell Stadium on Sunday the 16th of February. Johnny Escott, Quays News.
Manchester United supporters will gather at Old Trafford tomorrow to remember the 56th anniversary of the Munich air disaster. The United team were returning from a European Cup match against Red Star Belgrade when British European Airways Flight 609 crashed on its third attempt to take off. 20 of the 44 people on board died. The dead included 2 Salford lads, Eddie Coleman and Jeff Bent. It's National Weather Presenter Day, so let's see if the weather is celebrating with us. Here's Helen with the weather.
I'm afraid it's not. A mixed few days ahead as one low pressure system pushes out to be replaced by another one at the weekend, bringing some more unsettled weather. This afternoon, scattered showers will quickly turn into longer, heavier rain that will spread from the southwest. Some of these could turn wintry on the hills. It'll stay windy and we have a yellow Met Office warning out for wind, so make sure you check before you travel. Tonight, showers will begin to ease, but it will be constant throughout till the morning. Tomorrow, we have a few showers remain in the north of the region, but it will leave a drier and brighter day for many. Winds will be lighter, but the rain will start to push in during the afternoon as a new front hits our region. For the rest of the week, rain on Friday will soon clear eastwards, leaving a bright day. However, on Saturday it will turn wet and windy again, and overnight through the rest of the weekend it will begin to feel cold with the possibility of some snow.
Thank you, Helen. Now, an exotic barking deer has been spotted in Salford. Dan McLaughlin tried to gain an interview with the notoriously private muntjac deer.
Seems like the most unlikely places to spot an exotic South Asian creature, but a muntjac deer has moved in. Local residents are happy to welcome the new arrival to the area.
But it'd be lovely to have him, you know, in our parks locally, especially in Salford, which has always been known for a built-up area. It shows you that nature's coming to us up more than us having to go to that, you know.
It barks like a dog and eats flowers. It can't be that hard to find, surely.
As the great detective Sherlock Holmes said, the game is on. So the question is this a muntjac deer?
No, this is a crossbreed Labrador.
So have you seen a deer here?
We came out early one morning, it'd be about 8 o'clock, and I saw ahead of me on the path what I thought was a Great Dane. And then as I got closer, it didn't run or anything. It turned its head and it was clearly a deer. And then she stepped, because it was a female, delicately out of the way before I reached her, but no hurry, not frightened at all.
Well, I've had no luck today finding the muntjac deer, but I'm going to issue it a warning. I have a particular set of skills I've acquired over a very long career. Skills that make me a nightmare for people like you. I will find you. Dan McLaughlin, Quays TV News.
Well, it looked like Dan was having fun there. Now, that's all from us here at Quays TV News. Don't forget to follow us at Quays TV News, or online at quaysnews.net. See you next Wednesday at 1:30. Thank you. Goodbye.